Good afternoon, YouTube. I know it's been quite a while since I made a new video. Life has been busy and all the nonsense going on in the world has kept me away from doing videos for the most part. So what I am working on today is a 1987 Yamaha I believe it's a TT350. Let me see what it says over here. Yeah, TT350. Okay, Yamaha TT350 1987. And what we'll be doing is we'll be doing a carburetor removal, cleaning, rebuild, and I'm going to be using my parts cleaner here, my Sonic parts cleaner, to clean it up nice for the guy. All right, it's a strange looking carburetor. It's usually you have a bowl that goes across the entire bottom. If you look at this, the bowl is only on the left side of the carburetor. So we'll take it apart and we'll see what's going on with it, but that's what I'll be working on. All right, stand by. Okay, I'm gonna go through the disassembly. I usually finish it all and then I do the video, but this one's a little complicated, so I'm gonna go through it. First thing you need to do, there's 10mm bolts, one right here, one right here. Okay, those bolts go through here on the rear cover, through there on the rear cover. The front of the cover is just clipped on. There's a rubber grommet over here and on this side over here. Okay, you take those 10mm out, then you can get to the seat. The seat bolts are right here, and those are 10mm also, and those go through the bottom of the seat there and over here. These are what they look like, 10mm. Okay, then you can get that all out of your way. That way you can work easier. So the carburetor has two flows. Okay, it sits in this way. So you're gonna have 4 screws. They're not Phillips. They look like Phillips, but they're not Phillips. They're the Jap. I don't know if I can focus on this thing. Let's see. Anyhow, this is the blunt tip Phillips, the Japanese Phillips. Make sure you use that because, as you can see how they are. They're blunt. They're blunt nosed. They're blunt nosed. So these are what, almost 40-year-old screws. So we don't want to screw them up. No pun intended. All right. So you got 4. You got 2 on this side, and then you got 2 on this side. Okay. Take them off, and then you can pop the carburetor out. Okay. Once you got it hanging. Okay. The fuel line. I forgot about the fuel line. Fuel line is connected to right here. That's the fuel line. Okay, so it sits like this. That fuel line here would come down through. He put a nice filter on there, new filter. That comes down right onto there. So just pop that off with a pair. I use these angle nose pliers, needle nose pliers. All right. Now the complicated thing. This has a throttle cable like a bigger bike. So it's a push me, pull me. All right, that goes in there. The one with the rubber grommet is on the front right here. The other one is on the back. So what you got to do in order to let you get more play on it, okay, this is the assembly. This is what they're attached to. All right, and this, let me see if I can open this up. There's a screw there, and there's a screw over here. See that? Okay, that's what they're mounted on with. It's these type of screws. All right, same thing. They're not Phillip heads. All right, so basically you need to take those off so that you can move this around, and then these are 10mm nuts. You loosen the bottom ones up, leave the top ones because that's what's going to indicate the throttle response, the tension on the throttle cable. So leave those, loosen the bottom ones, and then slide them off of this, and then you can take the whole assembly out. So this is the whole carburetor. It's out right now. I don't think I can fit this whole thing in my parts cleaner. It's pretty big. We'll see what happens. Okay, next step. Okay, so we have the carburetor apart. We got the float bowl apart, and these are the old screws. This is the new kit we got here. So we got some nice new fresh parts in it. Okay, here's the bowl. Doesn't look that dirty though, I gotta say. It looks fairly clean. So I think I'm gonna put it in piece by piece. I'm gonna put this into the machine, and then I'll put some of these parts in the machine. It looks like you can take it apart right here, but since I don't know anything about the operation, see it's got a spring. The throttle springs back on its own, and it's also got some kind of spring down in here, and an armature that operates both sides. Let me see if I can do it and show you that when I don't know if you see that. See, it opens up both butterflies. So we'll play it by ear, and that's where we are right now. Okay, so we're gonna start taking it apart and cleaning it. Okay, I just wanted to show you the comparison between the internals that were in the carburetor and the new internals. This was the float bowl. This is the new one. You can see the difference. I put all the other parts are in here already. All the small parts that are not in this kit, the screws and everything else, and the bowl, the float bowl. So this is what goes where the needle goes in. This needle right here, that needle sits inside here, right in there. Okay, so look at how this is. This is the way it's supposed to look. So I'd say the bike's gonna run a little bit better once we get everything back together again. All right, I'm gonna put this in the put it in for 480 seconds, and I'm gonna run it twice probably. It's gonna be like 15 minutes or thereabouts. All right, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'll show you the after effects. Okay, this is with the parts out of the cleaner. These were done twice, and you can see vast improvement. I don't think we're going to reuse that. I think we're going to use the new one, but the new one doesn't have a rubber tip. The old one has, I can't focus. The old one has a rubber tip. Anyhow, this is not, there's no replacement part for that. So this we had to clean. As you can see, it cleaned up fairly well. I had to make some new rubber pieces because the rubber disintegrated and was brittle. So I made some new rubber pieces, and we're going to install the new parts that we have, as well as reusing some of the old parts. Okay, and I'm going to do that now. Okay, before I put it back together again, I wanted to go through everything one last time and show you how they cleaned up. So this is the bowl after putting it through the parts cleaner. As you can see, looks brand new. Same thing for the internals. Everything is nice and cleaned up. Everything looks brand new. Even the outside. And the outside, oh, I took off the, this had some red ink on it. Took the ink off of it. Cleaned the butterflies up, you can see. Cleaned the inside in there. Clean everything up. There was a few things I just want to go over with you. If you buy one of these kits, Okay, so you have this port sitting down here low like that, and it's got a big screw on it. Okay, so this is what came out of it. All right, as you can see, it's a little chewed up, but I cleaned it up. I cleaned it up in the parts cleaner. It looked a lot worse than this. I mean, it's chewed up from going in and out. You can see that, but the jet was all clogged up. I cleaned that. This is what came in the kit. Okay, you can see that is the wrong size. That is the wrong size, and it's the wrong thread. That's not gonna fit in there, okay? I cleaned up, I put it through again, because this has a rubber tip. So it cleaned up really nice this second time. So I'm gonna reuse this. You can see the rubber is in good shape, so I'm gonna reuse that. Here's the one that came in the kit. It's just metal with a metal tip. I don't think that's gonna seal real well. I didn't put the needles in. The needles were good that were inside there, so I left the needles. This is the new gasket. So old parts, I gotta put the float back in, but these, all these washers were broken. That, you can see the cup was filthy and corroded. The rubbers, like this rubber right here, between there, that's new. I replaced that. That rubber up top here, I replaced that with new hosing. This was the old stuff. It's all cracked and brittle. This washer is right there. Brand new one on there. This was just demolished, so that's replaced. And this, I don't know where this goes. I'm thinking it's for a different kit. Doesn't go anywhere. There's nothing on here where it would go. And like I said, this one is the wrong one too. So we're gonna reuse this. Even though it's chewed up, we have to reuse it. All right, so that's everything. I'm gonna put it back together again, and we'll call it a night. Be right back. Okay, final step. Reinstalling the throttle cables is gonna be in reverse. First thing, you put your drain hoses and your vents back on. Okay, we've got everything back together again. We've got that union between the two sides of the carb. We've got these drain lines on. Okay, the next thing is, make sure you attach the forward cable first through there, because then you can spin it like this. You can spin it up and get this one in. But make sure you attach this one, hang it on here, put this on, attach it so that it'll hang. Then attach this one, then hang this. Then, okay, there's a screw in there and the screw over there that holds this plate on. So now you're installed. Now we just have to put it back on the breathers and install the fuel line, and it's finished. All right, next step. Okay, we're all done, back together again. I checked the fuel, turned the fuel on. We had another leak underneath here. I don't know if you remember, there was a clear, same color as this hose. It was a clear yellowish hose that went right between the two sides of the carburetor. Well, that was leaking, so I put a tighter piece of black fuel line on there. That's 1/4 inch, I believe, what I put on there. Okay, so there's fuel in it right now. You see fuel in the line, and we have no leaks, nothing coming off of it right now. So it goes back together just the way it came apart. We put the four clamps back on the breather hoses. We clipped this back in, 10 millimeter on the seat, and that's it. So it took about 3 hours, and half an hour of that was using the sonic cleaner on the parts. All right, Mike Machine's out. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Okay, so this is after the rebuild. The bike is idling nice smooth idle, no leaks.